Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground is brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
Hi, my name is Jeff Kreitz. I'm from Breezy Point, Minnesota, and welcome to my shop, Creative Steel. I've been in business about 18 years, and I just want to tell you a little bit about what we do here. I do metal sculpture and functional artwork, furniture, gates, railings, and anything that has some design to it in metal. The fellows that work for me have a lot of varied backgrounds and interesting backgrounds. Bob Pelzo would be, he was in the printing industry for a lot of years, and he lives very close to me, and actually he's an old friend of mine. We knew each other as teens, and we get along very well. And Adam Wegman is a jeweler, and also has a lot of machining experience. He's been to school for machining as well, and a lot of his experience helps us a lot here. And basically, we like rock and roll, and we like to work with heavy metal. And this project that we're working on here, this is a sketch for a sculpture for a donor board at St. Joseph Medical Center in Brainerd. And I've been commissioned to do a sculpture, and what I do first, when I'm contacted by whatever party that might be, a lot of times I'll do a sketch. And I propose a sketch, I talk to the people, they tell me, you know, what they would like, whatever vision they have for a particular piece of artwork, and I listen to them, and then from there I take it and I do a sketch. This is a partial size sketch of the sculpture that we'll be working on here today. When we talked about doing the sketch with the ladies from the hospital, we talked about, this sculpture is going in the new cardiovascular ward. So we've incorporated a heart into the landscape, and that heart kind of represents the heartbeat of the land, so to speak. And the hospital's by a river, so we've also incorporated water into this sculpture. You can see here the stainless steel that is representative of water. And the roots are also incorporated into the heart here, and also all the trees are interconnected to show that everything is somewhat interconnected in life. So that was my idea with this. You can do just a regular landscape, but I also like that, you can make statements in your artwork too as well. Anything's possible with artwork. And from there, from the sketch, we go to what we call a maquette, or a model of that piece. And this can be presented with the sketch at that time. You can have a sketch and everything's one-dimensional, but it also helps when you're presenting things to potential clients to have a maquette. This is a northern landscape sculpture. You can see we have brass and stainless and steel and copper with different patinas, and the landscape has different metals in it as well. After we assemble a lot of the pieces, and I've done a lot of welding on the stocks, and start to weld some of the leaf clusters on to get the detail in the stock. This is called wire feed welding, and what I do is I take a lot of heavy rods and I weld in between those to get that stock, and the welds help to give it the stock a lot of texture. Then I can run a lighter weld to give it a bark-like appearance, and then from there we'll take and grind that down a little bit so it gets a little shinier and takes our patina a little nicer. And we get a lot of the landscape ground and welded and shaped the way we want it. Then I'll take these pieces or these trees and start to weld them in their place where they're to go. I just kind of lay everything, just get a bunch of trees and start to lay this thing out. And this is our heart that's going to be incorporated into the sculpture, and this is made out of copper. And this will be going to this recessed area, and then I will weld a lot of the roots. The root structure will also come down into this heart. And you can see the different metals we have in here. We've got brass and stainless and bronze and steel, and we're going to use different chemicals to put patinas on this steel, and then a clear finish over that so it doesn't rust. And the front is all stainless. It's pretty dull right now because it just has the mill finish on it, but once it's cleaned up and ground, it'll be very, very shiny and look real nice. So in my pieces, I like to use different metals because I don't like to paint over fine metal, just as you would not paint over fine woodwork. You know, you have all the natural colors of things right in the earth come from the metals. You know, they're all right there. So we just try to enhance those colors and use different ways of to patina those and finish them or burnish them and grind them, and a lot of different ways to get a nice look out of metal. How I select my metals, a lot of the outdoor pieces that I do may have a lot of stainless steel in them. Stainless is great because it lasts a long time outdoors. It doesn't rust, and I can also use copper with that. I may even use steel and let some of that rust. And I think that with sculpture these days, I know in the 70s they used a lot of steel or iron and they just let it rust. But my take on that these days is to have stainless steel and copper and brass mixed in with that steel to give it some color, and not just to have a one colored sculpture, but to have many colors and without painting. And I try to get American-made steel and stainless as much as I can. And I'm all for supporting the Iron Range. And you know, I just really believe if we support our local businesses and our local artisans and tradespeople, and even the people that grow food locally, and try to support them as much as possible, and put some of these people back to work, or keep the ones that are working in business.
If you enjoyed this segment of Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground, consider making a contribution at lptv.org. If you have segment ideas pertaining to North Central Minnesota, contact us at legacy@lptv.org. Common Ground is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund by the vote of the people on November 4th, 2008.